Governor Snyder is in West Michigan at this hour. This morning, he unveiled a major policy proposal in Grand Rapids that could impact the service you've come to depend on from your community. 24-Hour News 8's Joe LaFurgey was at City Hall when Snyder unveiled his plan. He joins us live this noon from Grand Rapids. Joe?
Hi, Emily. We're on the 9th floor of City Hall where the City Commission normally meets. Last week, Mayor Hartwell invited the governor to come to Grand Rapids to talk about local government reform, and the governor accepted. The governor wants some of the reforms that he has suggested at the state level make it all the way down to local government. Local government arguably, of course, having the most impact on most of our daily lives. Governor Snyder has a plan that has a little something for everyone. Here at City Hall, he wants more accountability and transparency when it comes to how your tax dollars are being spent. For the rank and file, he wants them to pay more into their health insurance, and he wants pension plan reform. He says he doesn't want to do away with binding arbitration for public employees, but he wants some amendments in the current law that, in the governor's mind, would create a more level playing field between government and unions. He also wants consolidation of services. That building inspector that shows up to your project or that fire truck that shows up in front of your house would be more of a regional effort under the governor's plan, not necessarily bound by city or township limits. To meet those goals, communities may be able to get some of that portions of that all-important revenue-sharing dollars back. Those are, of course, the state funds that go back to communities to create and help pay for services like police and fire. And most of those funds were cut by the governor in his proposed budget. The community would have to prove that they're meeting benchmarks laid out by the governor.
But I believe almost every community can find something useful about being more efficient by working together with others. And that's really the motivation here, is to be creative, to be entrepreneurial and proactive, and then have the ability to share those thoughts and let us all succeed together.
And it's interesting kind of checking the temperature of the room, if you will, after the governor laid this out today. Some officials with different communities are excited. They see this as a challenge. They see this as a good way to work through some of the challenges. Others, they're pretty much resigned to the fact that this is the way it's going to be. This is the money that's there, and they're going to have to work something out, work towards a goal. But just about all of them say that the face of city government, the services that you get from city, township, in some situations county government, are going to change. We're live at City Hall. Joe LaFurgey, 24-Hour News 8.
While the governor was breaking down his local government reform plans inside City Hall, protesters were outside. Armed with signs, the protesters were actually speaking out about the governor's proposed budget plan. Those protesters continue something we've seen several times over the past few weeks. Last week in Lansing, union workers, teachers, and college students all protested, upset with Snyder's proposed cuts, along with some of his policy changes.